And now we're live.
Okay, hello everyone. I am here with Kim today, trying out this new Zoom feature. Okay, so once it loads, do I have to exit out of that one?
I just close it because it'll start talking.
Okay.
It's kind of
All right,
cute.
I'm
You're
just
like, why am I listening to myself?
Why? Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, it popped up, but it's not talking to me, so
Perfect.
we'll just go with that for now. That's good. So welcome everyone to our live Zoom on Facebook. This is cool technology. And we have Kim here today, who is going to be talking to us about her workshop that is coming up for the Women's Sexual Empowerment Retreat that we're having on June 26th and 27th. This is our third retreat, and it's so exciting.
It is. I'm so excited for it. It's coming fast. It's coming super fast.
Yes, it's all coming up so fast. And yeah, I'm so excited to share with everybody what we have coming up. And so Kim has a beautiful workshop lined up for us, and she can I'll let you introduce yourself and let everybody know a little bit more about what you do and all that sort of stuff.
For sure. I'll share a little, and then you can ask me questions if you want to know more and how much more. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm Kim Coffin. I'm an empowerment and sexuality coach. I am trauma informed, and I work very much somatically on the body and in the body. And I'm also the founder of Get Your Sexy Back. That is my business. I am a mom to 3 very sexually empowered teenagers and adults. Of course, we go live and my voice starts tickling, right? Yeah, I have three teenagers and adults, 15, 17, and 18, almost 20, almost 21 and almost 18 for the other one. So they're getting very old, and I love how I've been able to share this empowerment and this sexuality and reconnecting to their sexuality with them. It's made a huge, huge difference. So on the whole, I teach women how to turn on their life, how to turn on their pussy, how to take their power back through sacred sexuality.
I love all of that. That's so beautiful. And what a perfect role model. I have 2 young little ones, and that's my plan is empowering them sexually, unlike the way, I was raised, or most of us were raised, or the society that we live in that has all these influences. And yeah, that is a big part of my story, and why I created this sexual empowerment retreat for women, is to empower more women. There's so many of us. And I used to be that way, where we're just kind of floating around in life and just doing what everybody else expects of us, especially as women, like in the patriarchal society that we live in. And it's just do it for mom and dad, do it for my sister, do it for all these people. And so that was my life for many, many years. And even to the point of having my children, was like doing it for everybody else. And then finally I clued in. I was like, oh, okay, I need to take care of myself and take care of my own needs, and getting rid of all this codependency. And you can hear my kids in the background. Girlies, we're live.
They're like, we want to be seen. Let us be seen.
Yes.
That disempowered piece is so important. We were just talking on even the podcast last week about how being disempowered in our sexuality can come across in our teenage years, in our 20s, in our 30s, in our 40s and beyond, and show up in us being so disempowered through our worthiness, through being comfortable being seen, through our voice, creating boundaries. There's all these areas where women and men, it's both, where we're just showing up half of ourselves because we haven't been connected and into our sexuality and in our bodies. We've had babies, learned the birds and the bees, the sex talks, and then pushed it aside and never talked about it again. And it's very harmful. It's very, very harmful. Until you start to pick at it and see where it's affected you, you don't really see all the areas that you're living very disempowered, it's time to change that.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Yes. And I love seeing all the work that you're doing online, and all the things that you do. It's it's been a whole new ball game for me, connecting with all of you beautiful women online and learning from everyone. And the first retreats that we had were just, I didn't realize the impact when I started this. I was just like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. This is a new thing. And just the workshops alone that we've already had on the previous retreats. And I'm just so excited. I look at the panel and I look at all of the stuff that you guys are going to be sharing, and I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a whole nother level of empowerment. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be sharing with us for your workshop?
Yeah, and just to speak to what you were saying just a moment ago too, when we start to look at this work and our sexuality, it's also a piece where our traumas do come out, because we do hold a lot of sexual shame, a lot of disempowerment in there, a lot of disgust. Like, I can go through all the D words of how we feel about our bodies. And even if we don't think we think it, when we go to do some of this work, it can show up and it can be like screaming at us. And we're like, I didn't even know I held that. So it's really deep work. I love the healing aspect of looking into our sexuality. It is so, so powerful. And I teach my clients, and of course, I'm going to teach all of you in the Women's Sexual Empowerment Retreat, how to reclaim the areas that you've lost yourself, all the places that you have been disempowered, dismissed, your voice, your boundaries, your truth. What else? Feeling safe and being seen and showing up. It's not just about your pussy, your body, your sexuality. Like, it's about turning on the whole. It's about feeling really, really great in your body and in your power, so that you can show
Mm-hmm.
up fully in your power. But to do this, we have to reconnect to our bodies. We have to reconnect to our sexuality, to our sensuality, to our turn on, and release the shame and the conditioning that comes along with that. And really, the biggest piece is learning how to trust your body and listen to your body from a grounded, empowered way, not from a constantly running around and flight, fright, and freeze. Oh my gosh, I can't get it right. Flight, fight, and freeze. I was trying to say it too fast, because many of us, and I notice it now being more in my body, many of us don't even realize how much in a day we can be living in those cycles, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy, crazy, crazy. But when you can really
Yes.
drop in and connect to your body and to yourself, you can ground and you can be nourished and you can heal. And that's where the last piece of my work comes in, where the remembrance part comes in, where you get to remember exactly who you are, so you can show up as your 100% powerful, true, unapologetic, true self. And it doesn't matter if the world's coming around down around you. Doesn't matter. You're like, I got this.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's such a beautiful place to be. I know it's been just recently in the last couple of years since I've found that side of me. I remember the first time I was doing when I was first introduced to Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And if you guys have heard of it, let me know if you have. And I had no clue like what it was to just shut everything down and be in the present moment. And I remember reading that book. I read it like 4 times and I was like, I need to get this. This is like, I'm so disengaged with everything and my body. And recently I've been being more and more in tune with my body, and my husband will be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just talking to my body. I'm just listening and trying to figure out what's going on in my body, like all these sensations, right? And all these things. And I'm so intrigued by my coach does hypnosis with, and I'm sure you probably do similar work, where you go back into your childhood and you release those things. And wow, it's been a journey, that's for sure. And I'm so
It's
excited to
powerful.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Total frog in my
Yeah.
throat. What is it with a turn on alive and it's like, it's trying to come out. I wanted to speak to even Eckhart Tolle stuff. Like, when he first came on Oprah, we're talking 20 years ago, 18, 19, somewhere in there years ago. It was a long time ago. And I did the whole course with Oprah and him years and years and years. This is way before being sexually empowered. And even though I wanted to do what he was talking about, and I wanted to come into this presence and all of this, I could not. I got it, but I couldn't do it. And looking back,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never even talked about this since, but looking back, it's a lot of trauma showing up. It's a lot of inner child showing up. It's a lot of these pieces going, no, and freaking out because they don't feel safe and they don't feel loved and they don't feel held and seen. So it's amazing just thinking about that. When we do get into our bodies, it is the fastest portal to reconnecting to who we are and into presence.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes, yes. It's all within us and within our bodies, and that's where our power lies.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Mhm.
I know earlier in my day ended up a little different. We started doing a live, and it wasn't working, and I was like, oh, and then I was going back to like my body remembers, like not even very long ago when these lives weren't working the very last time, and some of you may remember we ended up doing a lot of them on Instagram, so hence we're on Zoom now. And so I'm like, okay, I need to go down to the water and just like chill out, and it's all going to work out and it's all going to be okay. But I was just like going into that freeze of like, what do I do? And just got to keep plowing through, make it happen. But your body remembers that stuff. It
Mhm.
remembers it in so many ways.
I also notice in my clients, their inner child, their inner little girl knew it. They knew it the whole time. They just didn't trust it. It was in there. It was really in there. And I want to speak to the people who are like, oh my gosh, this is like so intense. I don't think I can handle that kind of workshop. Um, it doesn't matter where you're at on your journey. It really,
Yes.
really doesn't matter. I wasn't always empowered in my sexuality. I was so shut down, numb, disconnected from my body, from my sexuality, and from myself. Even trying to do presence with Eckhart Tolle like 20 years ago, I couldn't do it because I was in my head. So it's really important to, give yourself permission to show up wherever you're at because it's the only way you're going to start your journey. And it's totally,
Yes.
totally welcome.
Yes. And yeah, I love that you speak to that. Yeah. And this is wherever you're at, whatever age you are. I know last time we had a lot of questions about different ages, wherever you are, it's perfect. All of the workshops, you will get pieces from it. And it might just be planting seeds for later. Like you say, the Eckhart Tolle stuff is, maybe down the road, it took you some time to work on that. I know there's been a lot of seeds that have been planted for me. And I used to talk a lot about, I was talking to one of the other ladies. They used to talk a lot about intuition and then empathy and things. And I feel like I understand those words on a whole different level now than when I used to talk about them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think just those seeds that were planted at different times, and then it evolves, and it's totally okay wherever you are.
Yeah, totally. And speaking to that intuition, and I've already dropped the pussy word a couple times here, so I might as well like clarify it in case people are not used to it. Pussy is not just our body parts. It's not just our vulva. It's not just all of those bits and pieces. It's more of a
Yes.
woman's essence. It is her whole pelvic bowl. It is her womb and her ovaries, or the energy of her womb and her ovaries, and everything that goes with it. And there's such this deep, incredible knowing and trust and intuition that is available to us if we can tap into her. And that is what I'm referring to when I use the word pussy, and turning her on and lighting her up and letting her tell you what you desire and what you don't, and then listening and following. So that's a little tidbits. We'll go into more
Yes.
in the course.
Yes, 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 yes. Following that deeper intuition, that deeper knowing. And I think a lot of people, when they're seeing me promote a lot of this work or do a lot of this work, is they're thinking it's all about sex. And it's not all about sex. It doesn't even have to be about penetration or, penis and vaginas. It's about your inner knowing, and our sexual energy is within us, and it's our creative energy.
Yeah.
And when we're more tapped into all of that, we can create more and have more pleasure and really follow our intuition and our pussy and trusting that knowing. And yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
It is. There's just sometimes so many layers of disconnect between us and her because of magazines and teachers and parents and religion and everything else. So that's where we get to do the work. That's where we get to heal it and reconnect without any shame, without any holdback, without any thoughts coming up telling you shouldn't. You get to heal all of that so you can have this wide open channel available to you.
Yes. I love that. So I will make sure to drop the link so you can meet all of the other goddess panelists. I wanted to give a little quick overview of everybody else who's joining us. We're going to have a few different people speaking this week, so definitely join us. Monica's going to be doing the Sacredness of Pleasure workshop. And then we're going to have Diamond talking about manifesting and astrology and making sex a power, kind of some of the similar stuff we're talking about here. And then Erica's talking about body neutrality and improving body image, right? Because like you were just speaking to that as well, right? It's
all connected.
It's so all connected. And then inner journey and dance and writing ourselves as our own heroine, which is beautiful. Yeah, so lots of movement, journaling. There's going to be all kinds of things, finding your own pleasure and what works for you and what feels good for you. So yeah, definitely check out the link. I will attach it to here and check it out and follow the rest of the lives. And it's going to be an exciting weekend. And if you can't be there live, we will record the workshops, and then I will have the Q&As on pause during the recording so people can ask their questions in private if they need to. And my daughter's coming in to say hi. Mommy. Yes. Thank you so much, Kim, for joining us here. And I look forward to your workshop and look forward to the whole retreat. And I'm so excited. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to, she's eating frozen blueberries. Ask any of your questions in the comments or reach out with messenger or whatever you want. And we are here to answer your questions. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Kim, we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.